Jesus talked more about hell than anything else. Hi, my name is babyyyyy Modal. I'm a Bible scholar specializing in gender and sexuality in the New Testament. And today we're going to talk about hell in the New Testament. This is part 2 of a series where we're talking about hell, and my husband is editing my videos.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
So, surprise, the New Testament doesn't actually talk about hell. It talks about 3 distinct places: Gehenna, Hades, and Tartarus. Each term has distinct historical and cultural roots. First, let's talk about Gehenna. So Gehenna is Greek for the Valley of Hinnom, which was a valley just outside of Jerusalem. In the Hebrew Bible, Gehenna is a site of child sacrifice.
I know that sounds bad.
Because of this, by the time that Jesus was yapping, Gehenna had become a symbol of judgment, especially in prophetic and apocalyptic traditions, which Jesus would have been very familiar with. But Gehenna was never and has never been about eternal torment or suffering. So yeah, Jesus talked about Gehenna a lot, but he used it as a warning not for the afterlife, but about empire, violence, and moral collapse. When Jesus speaks of Gehenna, he's not talking about eternal damnation. He's issuing a prophetic warning. The Valley of Hinnom was a symbol of Israel's past moral failures, including idolatry, injustice, and complicity with imperial violence. Now, doesn't that sound familiar? The message of Gehenna is that if you follow the path of power, nationalism, and exclusion, you'll end up in Gehenna. Literal ruin, not metaphysical punishment. Next up is Hades. Hades is basically the Greek equivalent of Sheol, the realm of the dead. In most of the New Testament, Hades refers to the domain of death. Again, not a place of punishment, somewhere everyone goes. They use it as a symbol of death's grip on the world. Only in Luke 16 is Hades depicted with torment, but this imagery draws on Second Temple literature to dramatize a moral reversal. The rich man ignored Lazarus' suffering and now suffers in kind. So the message of Hades is that if you cling to systems that deny life, like empire, exploitation, and fear, you remain in Hades, the grip of death that Jesus Christ came to shatter. What? Finally is Tartarus. Tartarus is a term from Greek mythology. It's used once in the New Testament, and it describes a holding place for rebellious angels. If you're a bitch who fucks with Percy Jackson, you know that Tartarus is where divine beings are sent to imprisonment. It's a reference to cosmic injustice. It reflects God's refusal to let spiritual or systemic evil go unchecked. So the message of Tartarus is that if you wield power to corrupt, you align with the forces destined for Tartarus. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The New Testament does not talk about hell as we understand it today. Gehenna, Hades, and Tartarus act as a warning against empire, injustice, and moral complacency. When we fixate on individual damnation, we ignore the real message that God confronts systems of power that dehumanize, exploit, and oppress.
No.
And a fear of hell only distracts us from the hells that we tolerate here on Earth. So the next time someone tells you to go to hell, you can say, which one? Gehenna, Hades, or Tartarus? And it's just not biblical, sis. Stay tuned for part 3.
Guys,
Let's do this. Leroy Dragon!